Shabad 39, Eng 28-29, Guru Amar. The devotees of the Lord have the wealth and the capital of the Lord. With a Guru's advice, they carry on their trade. They praise the name of the Lord forever and ever. The name of the Lord, Jai Gurudev. The name of the Lord is their merchandise and support. The perfect Guru has implanted the name of the Lord into the Lord's devotees. And it's an inexhaustible treasure. O siblings of destiny, instruct your mind in this way. O mind, why you are so lazy? Become a Gurmukh and meditate on Nam. Devotion to the Lord is love for the Lord. The Gurmukh reflects deeply and contemplates. Hypocrisy is not devotion. Speaking words of duality leads only to misery. Those humble beings who are filled with keen understanding and meditation, even though they intermingle with others, they remain distinct. Those who keep the Lord enshrined within their heart are said to be the servants of the Lord. Placing mind and body in offering before the Lord, they conquer and eradicate egoism from within. Blessed and acclaimed is that Gurmukh, who shall never be defeated. Those who receive his grace find him. Without his grace, he cannot be found. The 8.4 million species of beings all yearn for the Lord. Those who he unites comes to be with the Lord. O Nanak, the Gurmukh finds the Lord and remains forever absorbed in the Lord's name. I think this Shabad, and the Twitter of Guruji of today explains super deeply about the importance of this day today. Here we see now the Guru is come to implement the Nam, implement the name. Of course, it's a little bit difficult for our mind to understand it. We see in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna, he says, no, Mahatma nastu mam parta daivim prakriti ashritaha, bhajanti ananya manaso. No, that my devotees, no, they are great Mahatmas, they are great beings. Why? Because they are under the protection of this divine energy of the Supreme Lord. They are under this protection. And then what is the main quality of this person? On the next verse, Krishna, he says, Satatam Kirtayam Tomam. This person, they are chanting with a drida vrata, with a great faith, with a great, dedication, vow. They are chanting these holy names of the Lord. And we see that in the different yugas, in different times, in the different time, the Lord always comes to give what? The name. He doesn't come to give anything else. He just comes and gives the name, and he implements the name in the heart of all living entities. But still, we need to have this desire to chant. And here, Guru Bani, what he's saying? Instruct your mind on this way. Why you were so lazy? Why you were so lazy? Why you were so lazy? No? So, because we have this tendency with the mind, no? The mind, we are saying, no, chant, but the mind is saying, I can't. Chant the holy names, chant the Supreme Lord name. Because this is a manifestation of the love from the Lord himself. So, when we see, for example, in the Bhagavad Gita, when Krishna, he says, paritranaya sadhunam, when he says, when there is a decline, and the low level of the consciousness of the people is getting low and low, I myself, I come. and I annihilate, I reestablish the Dharma. So we have seen how this society, how this world has been declining. When Guruji he received this mantra 6 years ago, what was the main thing in the world? Everybody was just speaking about coronavirus, COVID, death. And everybody was scary. Oh, the death is coming. Oh, everybody, just imagine how will be the world. But if you see how many devotees within Bhakti Marga had left their body with these things. I don't remember none of them. Why? Because we were under the protection. Under the protection of the Guru's grace, the Nama grace. But why all these things happens? Because he's here. Guruji is here, giving to us this chance to experience the love that is manifesting from him. And Guruji is asking us, chant. Chant Shri Vitala Giridhari Prabhramane Namaha. Share with others the glories of this name. Because the main quality of a Sadguru is that he comes to do things which breaks the mind, and by breaking the mind, he can implement this sincere bhakti, sincere devotion to the Lord within our heart. And that's the main quality of a Sadguru. So, 6 years ago when Guruji he received the mantra, and he gave to all of us this mantra, I remember that I asked him a question. Which mood shall we chant? When we are meditating, when we are chanting Shri Vitala Giridhari, which mood should we chant? Should we meditate upon this mantra? And Guruji's answer was very simple. He said, first of all, you have to qualify yourself to understand the deepness of this mantra. Qualified ourselves means what? To have this sense, this engagement, this desire for chanting, and the desire also to change. So very often we see, when we talk about this mantra, what we talk, this mantra means that the one salutation for the one who gives the protection, for the one who is waiting for us, for the one who wants to cover, to give all kind of protection that we need. But all of us is looking for protection, all of us is looking for some kind of facilities in the spiritual life. But the deep meaning of the mantra is that you should have this idea that the Lord is always there waiting for you. He's always there looking after you. He's always there just to see you enjoying your happiness in this spiritual movement. And I like this phrase very much. Don't be lazy, don't be lazy. Sometimes we are chanting and we are we see the devotees doing kirtan and we are participating in the kirtan like we are in the concert. And looking, the person singing, then repeat, give a clap. No, but actually in the life of a devotee, kirtan is the highest peak of enjoyment, of happiness. You should stand up, dance, enjoy, embrace. When you chant your japamala, I remember once one of my teachers, he said to me, what will make you, Prito, to Paramjyoti, to you, to give you real value in the holy names of the Supreme Lord, is when you start to think about the next step. And just imagine that the next step in your life is death. How would be your chanting today? Just imagine, if this kirtan is the last kirtan that you lead in your life, how would you lead this kirtan? If this puja will be the last puja that you perform to your deity, how would you perform that puja? So in the life of a devotee should have such enthusiasm for bhakti that he needs to do his actions thinking, and the next step I might die. But if I die, I make my life gloriously because I have been connecting with my Guru, I have been connected with Shri Nam, I have connected with Shri Hari. That is the most beautiful enthusiasm that a devotee can have. Just think, at any moment I can die. But if I die on the next moment, I'm sure I chanted my holy names today, I chanted my japa today, I did my kriya, I did my japa. Today I meditate upon my guru. I want to share one experience that happened 1 year ago to me. Making short, I was in the Vishishta cave, and when I was leaving Vashishta cave, I saw one sadhu sitting upon one hill, and my friend that was with me, he took 20 rupees and he said, oh, I will give these 20 rupees for that sadhu. And I started to laugh, and I took 200 rupees. And I said, no, if you are giving 20, I will give 200. And I came to that sadhu, and I gave the money to him, and I made a joke. Unfortunately, I make the most disgusting joke that any human being can make in this world. And he looked at me, and he replied with a perfect English, even better than mine. Mine is, my God. And he replied to me, he said, why? Do you think that I'm sadhu? I'm with this dress. Do you think that I'm here for such kind of joke? When he said that to me, I immediately sat next to him on his feet. I said, forgive me. And he said, no problem. You can ask me any question that you want, but don't ask me about my name, don't ask about my guru's name, and don't ask me for a blessing. And you can ask any question you want. And I started to ask him some philosophical questions, and he started to explain these questions very beautifully. And explain these questions. My wife was coming up, and I said to her, Manorama, just come here. And she, what? Come. And she came and she saw the situation. She sat nearby. She tried to put her phone to record. He said, no, not allowed to record. And he kept preaching to us. When we were just finishing the talk, he looked at me, he said, you know, at the moment that you did that curse, that you did that joke, I was ready to curse you. But when I look at you, I saw that you are under the guidance of a great Paramahansa. And because you are under the guidance of a great Paramahansa, I really respect you. So now I want you to ask one thing to you. Every day when you wake up in the morning, look to the photo of your guru and tell him 11 times why you are so grateful to having him in your life. I was not dressed with dhoti, I was not with tilak, I was not looking like a devotee, but still I could get the blessings of this sadhu. And the recognition that I'm under the guidance of a great Paramahansa. This was such beautiful and such deep. Me and my wife, when we went back home, we couldn't stop to talk about that precious moment. And now imagine how we are so blessed to be here today. After 6 years, we are for the first time officially celebrate the Shri Vitala Giridhari Parabrahmanena Mahajayanti. The deity has been here, has come in this beautiful form. Guruji is here, the devotees are here. Speaking like Mayuram, that's the sense of urgency that we needed to have in life. This sense of urgency to embrace and to really feel this gratitude. This is the Bhakti movement. This is not a miserable movement. But for us to understand the glories of such name, Nama, Guna, Rupa, Lila, for us to understand the glories of the name, Guna, the qualities, the Rupa, the form, how it looks like, Lila, the activities, a sincerity must be there. Like Guruji, he mentioned in this morning, the tweet, this mantra is not a mantra that is just appeared out of nowhere. It already has been existing thousands and thousands, millions, billions of years, maybe other kalpas, other yugas. People were already chanting. Maybe you already chanting this mantra, even in other lives. But the time is here now. And now what I'm doing better from today to chant this mantra. In the Bhagavata says, Sarva punsa paro dharmo yato bhaktira dakshaje. What is the main duty of the mankind? Is that to be happy. But to be happy, that's a haitukiya pratihata. You should be unmotivated, and not with any interruptions. Bhakti movement doesn't need any, you don't need, I will pray because there should be a cause of my praying. No, praying means that you were just wanted to pray because out of nowhere, yes, that's the best thing that I can do in my life. And if I could add one word, I would end ahaitukiya pratihata akandanam. I would add akandanam, which means that we should chant the holy names of the Lord constantly, without a breaking, without a stop, without looking for something else. Because this is the glory. When we are talking about Guru Tattva, Vishnu Tattva, Jiva Tattva, all these tattvas that we talk, all this concept that we try to describe is just to place us in this position of a servant. And in the position of a servant, he just can understand about one thing. How can I please my Guru? And this will look into so many things. What is the quality of my japa? When I'm chanting my japa, am I here connected? Shri Vital Giridhari Parabrahmane Namaha Shri Vital Giridhari. Or I'm here. My God, let me check these new reels. Shri Vital Giridhari Parabrahmane Namaha. You can make your choice. But you need to know that when you are chanting Shri Hari names, it means that he's in your tongue, dancing. Vital is in your tongue at that moment. Jagannatha is in your tongue. Giridhari is in your tongue. And how would you treat them? How would you treat them? Would you treat them like a second, a second option or the first option? So that's why this mantra is not an ordinary mantra. When Guruji he received this mantra, he was here in Shipitanilaya. Probably the time it was around this time. He was walking on his rooftop. And he had the grace of receiving this mantra. But the more graceful it is not how he received the mantra, but how he gave this mantra to us. Because this shows his love and caring for all his devotees. I remember once, I shared this experience many times. I was in my pity mood in the house. Thinking about myself, and I'm poor me. Then suddenly Guruji called me, and he said to me, you have the reasons to complain, but you don't have the reasons to make your life miserable. You don't have the rights to make your life miserable. And yet, I don't have the rights, because I have everything that I need. And Guruji, my God, I'm seriously thinking to go to UK and study English. It's hard to find the words, How I wish to give this satsang in Portuguese. But he's tirelessly, continuously giving all his bhav and energy and love for all of us just to chant these holy names of Krishna, of Shriman Narayana. So, just let's meditate today upon it, of how we can engage our sense and go more deep to improve the quality of our chant. Because as this saint, he said to me in Rishikesha 1 year ago, I didn't curse you because you are under the guidance of a great Paramahansa. If he knew that about me, the simple Paramjyoti Das, he knows also that for all of us. And we are under his protection. We are just trust to the Guru, trust to the mantra, trust to his teachings, trust to his love. But trust is not difficult. No, it's not difficult. No, so at this day, I would like to invite everybody. We still have 1.5 hours of kirtan. But let's chant as we are all, okay, nothing will happen in Iran and the USA, no politician games here, but let's chant like this is the last moment of our life. Let's chant this mantra as, like nothing will happen afterwards. Let's take this mindset, let's take this way of thinking forever in our life with this spirit of gratitude. I remember when Guruji gave the Narada Bhakti Sutra. At the end of Narada Bhakti Sutra, what he said, I have been vomiting to give all this knowledge to all of you. Just now embrace it, take it serious. Not just like ping pong, like something funny. No, we have to be serious, but with joy. Be serious with joy. That is the concept of bhakti. Jai Gurudev.